Next, the Polly for the Ombudsperson Award. An ombudsman or woman is essentially a guardian of sorts, appointed for their objectivity. Typically, this is done in a political setting where sensitivities are high and corruption lurks. Recent history has taught us that bad actors can and will exploit vulnerabilities for profit-building detailed profiles of each of us that we'll never see, with no regard for our personal privacy. As we adopt technologies, we make compromises where we trade convenience for our data. And in the era of XR, the type and the amount of data from new sensors that are required to make them work enables a new kind of data collection. We created the Ombudsperson Award and chose Kent Bai as its inaugural honoree because we can't afford to let apathy and lack of awareness let us be caught off guard in the next era of the web, the way that it did at the dawn of social media. We have asked Kavya Pearlman, the founder of XR Safety Initiative, publisher of the XRSI Privacy Framework, to present this honor to Kent for his exemplary journalism and for keeping XR honest. Welcome, Kavya.
Julie, thank you. And so what we're doing here today at the Polys is so important, and I'm so proud to be a part of it. First of all, now is the time to recognize the people laying the foundation for the future of the internet. Because not enough people even realize that immersive web even exists. It is going to make so many wonderful things possible. It promises to transform the human experience far into the future. This moment we're sharing is a critical juncture in the history of humanity. And that may sound like a bold statement, but when you consider what XR makes possible and what it will make possible, the sooner we accept the great responsibility the blessings of these technologies confers upon us, the better our chances to get it right. The quandary that we face today is same as ever. When innovation comes, we try to stay out of its way. Governments like to wait until the technologies are mature enough for bad things to happen before preventing them. And in terms of emerging technologies, we have this Coolidge dilemma where you can't quite anticipate much of unintended consequences unless you have enough of a data. And on top of that, as evidenced by recent congressional hearings, the people who make these policies often don't truly understand the privacy implications of these technologies that have been around for years in their own pockets. XR is one of these several technologies, including machine learning, artificial intelligence, high speed, high capacity, and decentralized network, what we may call the Internet of Things, that can be very empowering for humanity. Needless to say, the stakes of proactively preventing their misuse couldn't be more important to have in this public discourse right now. And our best hope is through critical awareness. To be aware, we need journalists that care enough to do the research and to provide us with an uh, objective point of view, objective information that we can use to make our own decisions. Such a journalist is Kent Bai, host of the Voices of VR podcast. Kent covers WebXR among a wide range of XR topics that often returns to a central theme: privacy and ethics in XR. In 2019, after years of research, Kent released the XR Ethics Manifesto, which is remarkably and inevitably on its way to become an artifact for IEEE, guidelines and frameworks. His interviews with influential figures in technology dive deep below the surface of the stories that he's covering. We don't just simply want to recognize Kent and his important body of work so that more people know about it. We want even more future ombudspersons to be inspired to build on the foundation he has laid. With that, I present Kent Bai, our honoree for Ombudsperson of the Year. Thank you, Kent, and never stop asking those questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this award. It really means a lot. When I started the Voices of VR back in May of 2014, I was really just curious about where this was all going in terms of designing for these immersive experiences, the potential. And then as I went on, I started really listening to the community, and the community concerns would come up around ethics and privacy and these other issues that I think were not necessarily always being talked about by everybody else in the industry. And so I think there was just been this role of the Voices of VR to kind of be this water cooler for the VR industry, to be able to, take this 60,000 foot view and to take time to really reflect upon what this is and where it's going. Any technology is going to have amazing potentials, but also this dystopic, horrible aspect. And it's a dialectic that I think we struggle with any technology. It can be a tool or it can be a weapon. And so I think it's up to us as a culture to decide how these technologies be used, and whether or not it does end up being more of a weapon or more of a tool for us to be able to live into our full potential of what it means to be human. These technologies are reflecting us in a certain way, and they actually catalyze us to grow. So with the immersive technologies, they unlock all these amazing potentials, but they also bring up these very complicated existential questions about us that we have to learn how to navigate. And it come up with new conceptual frameworks and philosophical paradigm shifts to be able to even understand from the nature of consciousness to how do we have some sort of framework to be able to understand the trade-offs of privacy, and to what degree is our agency being undermined? These deep ethical questions that become a moral question that needs to have a larger initiative for us to be able to come together into technology policy. So there's a lot of stuff that still is yet to be figured out, and we're going to need everybody's insight. This is not something that any one person can just do on their own. We really need to get everybody's diversity of perspectives, and that's a big part of what I try to focus on the Voices of VR, is to just find those perspectives and share them in the hope that you are all listening, and that we can all come together and figure out like who we are and where we want to be with this technology. So again, thank you for this award, and let's keep on living into the ultimate potential of XR.